Hi there, thank you for joining with us this morning. Last week we were talking about God speaking to us, and I remember as a young person visiting a Christian youth camp in Austria, and I became friendly with a lovely German lass called Heidi. I did notice there was always a big hulking fellow hanging around her, and one night she said to me, "Ian, you'll never guess what he said to me last night." He told her that God had spoken to him and wanted the two of them to get married. She chased him, but it was certainly an unusual way of proposing marriage. Well, we were talking of Saul last week, and he was on the warpath. He was going to destroy the Christian church. He was on the road breathing fire and fury, and God spoke to him. And he fell to the ground, and he was helpless. He was always in control, Saul, but here he was, dependent on others. What can we learn from that? Firstly, I think God deals with us, each according to our needs. God works with us in different ways. And the sad part is that we often make the same mistake that Saul made. We think everybody should be like us, worship the same way. And many of the differences between Christians is more about taste and background rather than faith. Is gospel music or Bach more acceptable to God? Should God be worshipped before a fancy altar and a building with stained glass, or instead in a bare room? Is conversion to be instant like Saul? Or can it be a dawning awareness of God and his purpose for us? God speaks to us in different ways because basically we're different. There are very few problems in life that God doesn't give us a wee warning about. That's true in our marriages, our health, almost every area of our life. And you know, if you think of the warning lights in your car, if one comes on, you can certainly hit it with a hammer and that'll put the light out. And you can keep on driving, but sooner or later you're going to kick yourself for attacking the wrong problem. And I think some of us go through life hitting the warning signs with a hammer and ignoring the real problem. So I think Saul probably got a warning light as he stood holding Stephen's coat as the mob stoned him to death. And sometimes we respond to warning lights like that. We become defensive and more determined to pursue our own goals. I suppose most of us won't have the same kind of experience as Saul did, but God will give us signs if we're willing to see them. Over a lifetime he speaks again and again, and if we listen, we'll hear him. Saul was a strong personality. He believed that he could handle every situation. What a surprise to find himself blind and helpless. And interestingly, he never boasted again of his own strength, but he did say, "I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthened me." Maybe right now God is speaking to you and to me. Maybe he has placed some warning lights in our life, and it's a good time to heed those warning lights, those signs, and to make a new beginning with God's help. God bless you, and again, thank you for joining with us.